Welcome to DROD'S MMA and Boxing. I got some jiu-jitsu for you today. Nick Diaz, one of my favorite arm bars ever done in mixed martial arts, period, was done by Nick Diaz. And the reason why this armbar was so sick, because it was so smooth. It was like a 64 Impala moving down the street. It was smooth as all get out. So I just wanted to do a breakdown and explain to you the small little detail that I've been missing all these years, because I've been always trying to perfect my game and do better at just the basics, and I just kept coming up short trying to hit this armbar from the full guard, because that's not a guard that people use often, right? But it's also a guard you can definitely need in MMA. So I found out by watching this video, it was a small little detail. A light bulb went off in my head, and I just want to share it with you, and I'm about to explain to you how it's done and why it's my favorite. So this armbar by Nick Diaz, the one he hit on Evangelista Santos, and this armbar was so smooth because you really didn't see it coming, to be honest with you. Evangelista Santos is very savvy in martial arts, especially jiu-jitsu, and you just didn't think that he would be able to hit this armbar. But Nick Diaz did hit the armbar, and you can see Evangelista Santos trying to snatch his arm out, but he couldn't. It was trapped. That's how tight that armbar was. And that's impressive considering the fact they were already sweating. So he hit this crazy armbar, and then he goes to the cage. You see him yelling and screaming at Cyborg, and she's crying. The reaction, there was just so much hype into that fight, which made that all accumulate to being one of my top favorite submissions of all time. Now, for years, I never figured out how he hit that armbar. I tried to duplicate it, but I always came up short. It wasn't until I saw this fight with Jeremy Jackson that I was like, oh snap, the light bulb went off. I couldn't believe that all these years the little detail was right there. So, you know, in this fight, this was like perfect wrestling. Not perfect, I'm sorry, my fault. That's my hyperbole. Sometimes you try to work so hard to make these videos that you kind of exaggerate. No, listen, it was really good wrestling. You don't expect good wrestling from the Diaz brothers. They're known for boxing, jiu-jitsu, but not necessarily wrestling. So saying that, it was impressive to see him chain his takedowns in this fight. Now, enough is enough. Let's get to the nitty-gritty. You guys came here to see arm bars. You didn't come to see me, hear me rambling. So let's get going. Nick Diaz, he got head control first, right? Why is that important? Well, previously, when he tried to, in the earlier the fight, he tried to grab the wrist, and he tried to then grab the head and go for the armbar. Well, Jeremy Jackson was able to rip out and land his punches. You have to have you gotta have head control. The head control prevents the opponent from being able to posture up and to land down punches or to sneak out. In the fight with Jeremy Jackson, he kind of sort of disguised it. He put his hand over the head, like in kind of sort of like a clinching situation, and Jeremy Jackson wasn't really paying attention, and so by the time he made the mistake and bring his head across the center line of Nick Diaz knew he could just immediately go for the armbar. At this time, when Jeremy Jackson did want to posture up, he couldn't, because Nick Diaz had his head. That was that small little detail which allowed him to hit that armbar. The position that Jeremy Jackson was in before, Nick Diaz couldn't really get the armbar because Jeremy Jackson was blocking Nick Diaz's hip. So Nick Diaz was patient. He had the top of his head, and as soon as Jeremy Jackson brings his hand over onto Nick Diaz's chest, you could see then that's when Nick Diaz said, okay, let's go for it, because his hips was open at this moment to be able to land this armbar. It's a sick armbar, and it's so beautiful to watch, and it also feels great when you actually hit it in a live roll or in a live competition setting. So I hope this detail helped you out a little bit. Before you hit the armbar, have positive control of the head first, and then once that person's hand come across that center line, trap the arm and hit the armbar. Sometimes you don't even need to trap the hand because you have the posture already broken. So it's better to do that than to try to hit the armbar without the posture being broken, because as I stated before, the individual can easily come up and then land down punches. Yo, this is DROD'S MMA and Boxing. If you like more videos like this, please hit the like button, subscribe, tell me what you think. Also, I would like to see who has the best armbar in mixed martial arts. Please drop a comment. Let me know. I would love to break down that armbar as well. I'm a student of the game. I love jiu-jitsu. I love martial arts. I love boxing. I love talking about the stuff and breaking it down. Peace out.